Hey YouTube, I guess y'all can hear me. So I figured that I'll continue on with this one book. Hold on, let me find it. I'll just be doing stuff everywhere. So I figured I'll continue on with this one book, Thoughts by T-Boz. You know, Tionne Watkins. T-Boz from the group TLC. It's a book of pretty much some poems, and she also shared like some stories about her life and stuff like that. So I'm going to continue on where I believe I left off in the last video. If anyone care to watch it, please go back to that video so you can see exactly where I left off. All right, I'm on page 38. She was too practical to turn down a spacious apartment that was built just for her. Still, she was a stubborn and independent woman, and it took some discussion before she finally agreed to move in. I was thrilled. She felt she lived like a queen with all the space and the convenience of having the family around. I was so happy to have kept my promise. She moved to Atlanta on Thanksgiving Day, 1997. She was feeling better after a hip surgery and the physical therapy. After she moved in, she did indeed live like a queen. She got a couple good months and it felt like everything would be okay. When she fell sick again, she underwent a series of exams. Eventually, the doctors diagnosed her with uterine cancer. Hopefully, I said it. Uterine cancer. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. Y'all know I be messing up. Anywho, which would spread to her lungs. Over the course in 1998, mom would take care of her, take her to the doctors and the treatment day in and day out. In early October, they put a hospital bed in mom's living room. The cancer had gotten to the point where they couldn't do anything more in the hospital. They felt she was better off being home around her family. We were glad to have her home, and home was where she wanted to be. But no one was happy about handling the medical stuff. The nurse trained my mom and aunts on how to hook up the IV, give her medicines, and that sort of thing. It was a scary time for everyone in the family because you couldn't make mistakes. If you didn't hook up the IV right and the air got in the tubing, she could die. Who knew what would happen if you gave her the wrong dosage or combinations of medication? No one wanted that kind of responsibility. Doctors and nurses, they they are paid professionals who do this for a living. What did we know? It was upsetting, and some of my aunts and uncles wouldn't touch the IV. Still, everyone took shifts and did what they could. It was up to us, and we weren't going to let down this woman we all love. Because of my TLC obligations, I couldn't tend to grandma, though I really wanted to. I would visit whenever I could to sit with her, even if it was when she was sleeping. She had gotten teeny over time. She was not a tall woman. She was about 5'3", but she was solid and strong. With the chemotherapy, though, she had. lost her hair and much of her weight. The IV kept her hydrated and made up for her lack of appetite because the chemo made it hard for her to keep anything down. She couldn't stand certain smells either. She was extra sensitive to some that would literally make her sick. I don't like the smell of the IV liquid. I don't. Some some hospitals sense is weird to me. That's why I couldn't stand being in the hospital. It itches. You just laying there with a needle in your arm, cords all around, probably stuff up your nose. I couldn't. I swear I couldn't stand being in the hospital. And you pretty much just looking up at the ceiling unless you turn your head left and right because when you try to lift your body up or anything, I don't know how it feels being on chemotherapy or nothing, but like brain surgery, you just feel dizzy all the time. Like they'd try to make me go to the bathroom and walk the halls for like couple of minutes or whatever the case may be, and by the time I make it to the room, I'm throwing up and I gotta run to the bucket or run to the toilet. It was crazy. Like I really can't stand the hospital, so I can only imagine someone that's pretty much in their last days, and you at home having to be hooked up to IVs and all this other stuff, and you can't eat and drink, and it's crazy. I remember visiting her once. She was sitting on the couch, singing like a little baby bird. She didn't care for wearing a wig in the house, though sometimes she'd wear one when we went out on those days when she had been better. I looked at her this one day and it amazed me how beautiful she looked. With no wrinkles, even at 83. Grandma, you're really pretty, I said. Oh dear, you got to be kidding me. She said, not agreeing with me at all. No, really, your face is flawless. It's clear. So what if you're smaller? Your face is so pretty, Grandma. I think it made her. I think it made her. What? Oh, it was a error. I think it made her feel a little better. That's not to say she would take any sympathy from me. She said I had been a sickly child and I had lived with all the IVs and whatnot. I said, your disease is way worse than mine, Grandma. I don't think there's any comparison. Pain is pain, she told me with a shrug. When she was going through the chemo treatments, I came out and asked her, are you going to give up or are you going to keep fighting it? Are you going to hold on? What do you think? I'm going to fight it, sweetie. I'm never going to give up. She said she stayed positive with a smile on her face. This 83-year-old woman whose body was failing her. No matter how she is feeling, she would give me pep talks. Watching her deal with her illness and impending death taught me a lot about how to live. Not till the pain had gotten insufferable and she was at death's door did she even seem like the cancer was going to bring her down emotionally or mentally. Her struggle proved her strength and it truly inspired me. She made my own day to day problems seem insignificant. And whenever I have a sickle cell crisis, I tough it out like grandma would have. This is a lot of reading. Hold up, please. Sorry, y'all. Like I did in any other books, I don't show the pictures. There's pictures of her and her family and stuff throughout this book. If y'all want to see the pictures, please feel free to purchase your own copies. I'm just here to pretty much read the book itself, and I'll stop every now and then and let y'all know if I mispronounce something or if I'm reading too fast and gotta read it over, or I'll give my own stories and opinions on certain stuff. But anywho, just before Halloween, I got the flu and couldn't be around her because the chemo and the medications had thrown her immune system out of whack. I did stay at my mom's house though, which is where I am whenever I'm sick. There, she can keep an eye on me because she doesn't think I'm responsible enough to take care of myself. If it were up to me, I'd get up and do the things I need to do, regardless of how I feel. But at my I feel calm and grounded, and she makes sure I stay that way. Grandma's last few days were hard ones. She was almost delirious with pain. I really wanted her to listen to the cuts from fan mail before it was too late, but she couldn't bring herself to focus enough to listen to much of anything, much less to the album. Before I went to bed on Halloween night, I put on a German so I could say good night. She seemed so tired and upset in a way that I'd never seen before. My uncle Quentin was holding and hugging her. I couldn't get too close to her because of the virus, so I just called out to her and hoped she could hear me. In the middle of the night, someone woke me up and said Grandma was breathing funny. We called the ambulance and went to the hospital. We didn't want her to die at the house. Maybe there was something that could be done at the hospital. After all, but the doctor said there was nothing they could do. But wait, they changed her to a hospital gown and gave her painkillers so she could be comfortable. Then they moved her to emergency room from the emergency room to a private room. She fell into a coma. The minister showed up and gave her last rites and stayed around to give us comfort. But my grandma wouldn't go down so easy. She was so strong that she brought herself out of the coma like she wanted to tell us something. She said, "Someone please let me out of here. I want to go home." When, when she lapsed back into the coma, we would put a phone to her ear so people could say their last words to her. She would make a sound of acknowledge. She would make a sound to acknowledge what someone said. So I knew she was able to hear what we were saying and singing to her. I was watching a movie about the Temptations in the waiting room when my Aunt Reese came out and told us Grandma was starting to slip away. We went in and formed a circle around the bed and started singing to her again. The nurses there started crying. They said they never heard a family singing at someone's deathbed, but this was our tribute to her. Something that would ease her journey to the other side, surrounded by love. There were my mom's sisters, Sandra, Reese, Karen, and Venice. My two cousins, Martin, Zinga, and my aunt Sandra, Uncle Jeff had just left. My brother Coco was home. He had just turned 16, and my mom didn't want him to see this. One of Grandma's favorite songs was Jesus Loved Me, and my mom sang it to her with her sisters. I joined in with them, even though I would just wanted to stand and listen to the voices of these women gathered like angels around the bed of their mother. Grandma was struggling with her breathing. My mom held her hand and whispered to her, "Go ahead, Grandma. Excuse me. Go ahead, Mama, and rest. Let it go. Don't fight it." Grandma took two breaths, then one deep breath. She went limp and her head fell to the side. I was standing behind my mom with my hand on her shoulder and my other hand on Grandma's leg. We continued to sing for a little while longer. Then we all started crying and hugging one another. It was 1:34 in the morning. We stayed in the room. It was different. It was difficult leaving Grandma's body. Some of us would talk to her as if she was still there. Then my Aunt Velma and Uncle Quentin arrived, and it was hard for them. It made everyone cry again. Still, we all knew that God was going to take care of Grandma. She was a good Christian woman who had raised 11 families. Over the next few days, we had the wake, which I didn't go to. I didn't want to see her like that more than once, and I knew I would see her at the funeral. We took her home to Iowa to be buried. I miss her, but in my heart, I know Velma Coleman didn't die. She simply lives in a better place where she can watch over her family. So it seems like this book is mostly poems, but she also takes the time to share life stories, kind of like the second book. Because yeah, the second book is more like life stories, her speaking about her life, and then also talking about her career and moments with her T-Boz. I mean her left eye in Chile. And this is my first time reading this book. I've had the second book in the past, but things happened and it led me to have to get another copy. Um, Chile don't have no book, and I was trying to find a book about Left Eye. I know it's one now. I just can't find it. I'm gonna have to wait till I get some more money, and hopefully I find a copy to add to the collection, so I don't just have T-Boz books. I could have Left Eye as well until Chili decides that she want to write a book. Um, but yeah, y'all. I like to read. It just seems like it's just that most of the time, if I'm reading out loud, I like to rush because there'd be a lot of words on certain pages. Then my eyes start to get blurry, even with glasses on, and I be trying my best to not mess up on words or mispronounce anything and stuff like that. But anyway, it is what it is. But I'm gonna get back to you on the next video. I'll probably come back a little later and read more. I'm gonna take a break. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified. And y'all already know. Share my videos with friends and families. Help me build my subscribers up. If you want to join my loyal subscribers, I do accept donations to the channel. You can send whatever you want to Kashmere Majesty 26 on Cash App. Once again, if you want to be a loyal subscriber and you like what you see on my channel and want to see more content, whether it's a wig review, mannequin hair review, or whatever you want to see, or even if you just like me and want to support, my Cash App is Majesty 26. That is KASHMEREMAJESTY 26. And if I continue to get loyal subscribers and I see that people are really paying attention to my video and y'all support my YouTube, I will we could probably not hook up, but like we could probably talk on my other platforms like Facebook and stuff like that. I just want to make sure that I got people watching my videos like y'all really vibe me. But I'll get back to you on the next video.